House.
That's it. Where's the courthouse in this bitch?
The courthouse?
Is it where that F is at? Because where that license
that
ID's
suitcase. At? Yeah, suitcase at?
Wait, what suitcase?
That's driving school, I think. Okay. Yeah, probably IDs.
Okay,
I had them send you the postal.
I'm gonna go there. Alright.
Okay.
Bye, I love yous. I'll let you know if we lose, because I'm pretty sure we'll probably lose this court case, but you know, it is what it is, because I don't know my laws, but you know, if we plead the fifth and we contest to nothing, bitch.
I'm crying.
I wonder what to take my car. I should have clocked in for my EMS jobs. Yeah. We are on our way for a court case. Guys, I think I just had an earthquake where I live at. I ain't gonna lie. And the aftershock was crazy. I have no idea what is about this case or what's going on in this case or anything like that. So, wish us luck. We're going to see what happens. My client says he thinks we might win. I'm not sure. All I know is, I don't know how well this is gonna go. I ain't gonna lie. They did this quickly. Sir, get on my way. So let's see how this court case goes. Wait, hold on. Oh my god, I don't know if this is gonna go well or not.
What's up, officer? What's going on, Lord?
Hello.
What?
Wait, dude, I'm sorry.
Hey, look. Now, not much evidence on our side.
Okay.
There is a clip. Well, see if we can get this thrown out here. Second.
Mm-hmm.
There is a clip of what the situation is.
Okay. Do you by chance have it on record where I'm able to see this body cam footage? Or security camera footage?
See if
It'd be in
can you see the court cases
yeah,
in the email?
Let me look at this real fast. Let me see.
It's the last two that were just posted.
The last
9:30.
The last two?
Yeah, 9:30.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I'm not done.
Now that's coming from the other side. not his body cam.
Not his body cam. Okay.
Yeah, not his body cam. That's the other's.
Okay, give me just a few minutes so I can review both of these real fast. Alright.
Give me a moment. $80, $82.41.
I'll be a cop. Yeah, you can.
Whatever, man.
Just join the court and go ahead, join the court and then drop a PDF in. They'll get right to you.
Roll down your window.
Roll that window down, please.
I'm actually kind of getting sued right now.
Reach
for some
first.
shit one of my officers did. It wasn't my fault.
It was most definitely your fault.
I have to take the fall type shit. You feel me, chat?
Allegedly.
That's what I'm.
Allegedly.
Now, when you're watching that, right? You know, it's obviously don't look too convincing on our end, but
Are you reaching? Are you
you can hear the hesitation when I ask him for his registration, so that means he's reaching for something. In my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Get him in cuffs now. Put those hands
Yeah,
up.
we're fucking.
Put the hands up. Put the
I mean-
fucking hands up.
I think we're good, bruh.
I hope she can save your ass.
Go ahead, detain him. Go ahead,
Just
detain
make
I
us
really
look,
hope
look,
so.
I get it. It don't look good. It don't look great.
No, no.
But I think
No.
we'll be alright.
Reach for that gun.
I think we'll be
But
alright.
why would we reach for the dash for?
We got the whole fucking crew, man. The fucking court case.
I saw you reaching. Oh, you say you don't have any Mark 17. You
He
were
said you had a
reaching.
fucking gun, man.
Okay, I'm watching this.
Yo, I'm here to
80,
come support my
82,
dog.
41.
Where I go?
Up
Alright.
in the courtroom, man. Go have a
Pull
seat.
over, man. There's it on. Roll down your window.
Roll that window down, please.
Don't fucking
Beat
reach
that.
for that gun, dude. Don't reach for it. He's reaching! He's
Here,
reaching!
I can open the door.
Get him out of the car, he's reaching!
Alright, I'm reviewing now the second part of that.
Why were you
Back
reaching,
in.
man? I'll let you go if you tell me why you're reaching. Just tell me, man. I'm a good guy. I don't want you to go down. But tell me why. I saw you go over towards the dashboard.
What's your name, man?
We're good, man. We're good.
We get a background check on Harry Dongle.
Let me get a
for
background
sure,
check on
coming
Harry
up.
Dongle.
Male, 6 feet, brown eyes.
You give me permission to search the car, right?
Yeah, Harry
Damn,
Duncan.
bro, what the fuck?
You say he's really a female.
Damn.
Mr. Dungle.
Think we're getting away?
Yes,
Who
that's
was
crazy.
So do
Mr.
y'all
Dungle, we
by
don't
chance
have
have
to-
any
we don't have to read you your rights till you get
I ain't
down.
gonna lie.
Open the hatch. I ain't
No.
searched
Come
the
on,
car.
man.
This
What?
is all his doing.
Look,
Get your
look.
rights till we
We
get
I
can
don't
make,
even
we
think I
can
was
make
on
things
scene.
up,
He
right?
searched your car.
You just gotta play our
No, for
cards
sure.
right.
Okay, so do y'all by chance have any background information on this Harry Dongle, the person suing you?
I
For this
know
court
he's
case.
he's felon, I think.
Does he have a
Let me look him
record?
up.
Does he have a felony record?
Let me
Anything
look
that?
him up.
Look him up, man.
What's the guy's name? Harry Dongle? That's
Yes.
the fucking
Harry
person's name.
Dingleback.
Harry Dongle.
That's what I'm saying. You tell me a Harry Dongle gang. Fucking.
I mean,
you
he
not-
has no priors.
No priors.
No
I'll tell you what.
priors.
I'll tell you what. Did he have his license and shit? Is he registered to drive?
Does he have a
Is he
driver's
registered to
license? Does he have a gun
drive?
license? I did see that y'all said that he had a weapon on him. Did y'all by chance see what it was? I heard a Gen 19.
Okay, so he only has an identity card, no license,
Oh,
no weapons,
hey,
no registered
That's
weapons.
where we get him at, right there.
Okay.
That's where we get him.
Yep. No
So he
driver's
has no
license
driver's-
or no weapons license and no registered weapons.
He was also talking on the phone and driving.
Yep. And it looked like from his voice he was very frustrated, ready to pull that gun out.
Yeah, you could tell right away. Coming hostile. Okay.
Think we can win it? Let's get it.
Yeah, let's try this. Let's see what happens. Remember, we just
Alright,
gonna we just
You're
gonna
getting paid regardless.
we gonna try what we do. All right. Oh.
No one showed up for him but one person.
Mm-hmm. I was trying to get Mimi to fly in so that way she could come play backup lawyer with me.
All rise.
Make sure y'all shout is. Make sure your shout is on, big dog.
Thank you so much for Tiny Dinies.
At the LKB TTYZ, you have just reached level 3.
Here we go.
All parties that are supposed to be here.
Hell yeah, just showing love.
Yes.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get started today. We have a case matter against the Harry Dongle against the Sheriff's Department.
Yes.
Could the attorney of Mr. Dongle let me know who he is? Who are you, sir?
7249.
Mr. Attorney.
Mr. Attorney?
I'm sorry, it's cutting out for me. Can you say it again?
He said if you...
Could you stand up and address the court and tell me who you are?
Absolutely. I'm Attorney Sanchez, representing Mr. Dogle in the case today.
And the defense, could you address the court and tell me who you are and who you're here to...
Yes, hello, Your Honor. Yeah. Your Honor, this is Attorney Garcia, representing the Sheriff's Department.
Yay, I haven't heard from her since earlier today. Gonna check on her soon.
This is Lawyer Garcia, representing the Sheriff's Department.
All right, and have both parties reviewed the cases, and are we good to proceed here with the court?
Yes.
Yes,
right,
unless the sheriffs have presented new evidence.
Would you like to have opening statements?
Prosecution or the defense?
The defense, my bad.
All right, Your Honor. So, we the defendants are going to be pressing a lawsuit against the Sheriff's Department for excessive force, unlawful search and seizure, also negligence.
And you have evidence from all this?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So you have witnesses, and have you put all this stuff in documents?
So I have put these.
To the court?
I have put this in documents and submitted to the court, but I do not have eyewitnesses to the occasion. It was just my client and all the officers on scene.
So the only evidence that we have is the body cam footage that I had submitted?
Yes, sir, unless the state has more evidence they would like to submit.
To your left to the courtroom.
Okay, you may be seated. I'd like to hear from the state.
Thank you.
Hello, Your Honor. At this time, everything that was put in and submitted to you is what we'll be going based off of.
Okay, you don't have any other evidence, no body cam footage or nothing?
No, not to my knowledge. I was just now informed of all of this court proceedings and stuff like that and was hired last minute to come help defend.
Okay, did you guys want to have time or set another court date, or we want to go with this now?
No. Go now.
Well, we're gonna go ahead and go with the right now, please.
All right, we can do that.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Defense, you may present your case.
I'm asking.
We maintain the security at the courthouse right now.
So, as you can see, Your Honor, in the evidence, my client was pulled over for an alleged illegal U-turn. When he was pulled over, he was immediately greeted by 3 sheriffs to hop out of one Explorer. Immediately after that, another car pulls up and another car pulls up. So at this point, there's approximately 6 or 7 officers on scene. My client is scared for his life because, again, this was about an illegal U-turn. So now he's thinking that it's escalating. It's something that it wasn't. The officers then proceed to say that they seen a gun or they seen him reaching for a gun. And they all started to yell, get out of the car, open his door. No, they started to yell, open his door, open his door, open his door. He's reaching, he's reaching. The officers proceeded to open the door when you can visibly see both hands on the steering wheel. My client was not reaching. He was trying to remain as calm as possible. You can also hear in his voice how shaky it is because of how extreme and sincere this situation is. They pull him out of the car, even though he still has his hands on the steering wheel in visible sight. They tase him out of the car, He falls down. They put him in handcuffs. They illegally search him. And one of the officers proceeds to ask him, after he's in handcuffs, why were you reaching? He said, I wasn't reaching. Then the officer switches it to, well, why were you reaching for the dashboard? So my thing is, if you see someone reaching for a gun in their pants pocket, that's almost complete opposite of reaching forward for the dashboard. As gun owners, when the police comes, that you put your hands on the dashboard in visible sight so that everyone knows that this is a safe environment. My client did exactly that, and he was treated with almost the complete opposite of what he told he would be treated.
And your client has no priors or anything that would warrant this type of stop, search and seizure, treat the way they treated him.
To be completely transparent with you, Your Honor, I'm not sure of his previous criminal history. What I am sure of is whether he was a previous criminal or not. I don't think that an illegal U-turn warrants the amount of force, aggression, and neglect that he was met with. I believe that everyone should be treated the same, criminal or not.
You're absolutely right. Do you have any other things you would like to say?
Have handcuffs on.
Other than the fact that my client was fearing for his life and still complied with everything that the officers were asking, and he got nothing but aggression in return, I think I can rest there.
Who whispered gun license?
Call your client or any other witnesses up at this time?
Absolutely. If you're going to allow me to do my witnesses right now, then yes, I would like to call my client to the stand.
Yeah, you absolutely can.
All right. I'd like to call Mr. Dogle to the stand. Oh, excuse me.
The guy in the back did. One of the officers
we have
did.
An officer in the court come up here and swear the gentleman, please.
Guys, I have no idea what I'm doing. They just have me up here, so wish me luck. I'm defending the state.
White shirt, please, preferably.
What side do I go? Left or right? Go ahead.
Over here on this side.
So wish me luck. I don't know what I'm doing. Who is banking? Oh my god.
Raise your right hand or both.
My bad. Are you raising your right hand or your both hands?
Dude, who is banking?
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but
You got this, sis LMFAOO.
I was literally contracted last minute to do this shit. I ain't gonna lie, it's crazy.
Counsel, you may proceed.
Bruh, shut your voice box. I can't hear.
Mr. Dongle, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm well. So,
Mr. Dongle, could you speak up a little bit so everybody in the court could hear?
Yeah. Is that better?
Can you guys all hear him in the back?
Brother.
Not really.
Yeah, I can hear him.
You're definitely going to shout.
It is on show. That's insane.
Speak up, please.
You might have to shout.
Stop preaching.
Be quiet.
My bad.
What? Wait,
Good.
I'm traumatized. Don't say that to me, please. I heard that.
Order in my court.
Mr. Dongo, is there any way that you could
V-card.
maybe come a little closer to the microphone on the stand so that you could be heard in the back?
I am very close to it.
The stand.
Okay, Your Honor.
Objection,
Being that he
objection,
can't do
objection,
anything
objection.
more, would it be possible for maybe the
Objections.
prosecution to come a
want-
little closer
you
so that
want
they
me
can hear?
to object?
Phrase that objection. Yeah. He's not fit for the stand. He's not fit for the stand.
Objection.
Objection.
I don't think he can hear us.
Step up close, please.
I can hear you guys.
Yeah, could you? Do you mind standing right here while he gives his testimony so he can hear?
No, for sure.
Did you guys want to go ahead with your objection?
Objection. Yes.
Yeah, he's not fit to stand trial if he's already being this shaken by just being examined by his
He's not
own,
fit for the stand.
by just being talked to and handled by his own lawyer at this point in time.
Objection, Your Honor. I haven't asked my client any questions. He was referring to the rebuttal and whispers that he was hearing from the prosecution.
Exactly, while you were examining him before you
I
even
haven't
said
asked him any
anything.
questions. I'm not examining him yet.
Okay, we'll overrule that for right now. We'll go ahead and proceed.
Mr. Dongle, how would you describe your interaction with the fellow sheriffs on the day of 4/28/25?
These guys, I was scared because first of all, it was just one car. Then I seen 3 other cars and more officers. I was so scared. And then they pulled out their guns. Nah, but that is just stressful.
Okay, scared, stressed. Can I ask you, how were you able to stay so calm and keep your hands on the steering wheel, comply with all orders, even though you were having fully automatic rifles pointed at you, pistols, lasers? How were you able to stay so calm?
Because I know that I didn't do anything wrong, and they were just excessive force, man. I would just go in how I know how to handle it.
Okay. And then, Mr. Dongle, if you could, please explain your day-to-day life after this incident. Were you able to go right back to normal?
No. I have my friends. They drive me around because I am traumatized from the experience of getting pulled over with 7 different cops pointing their guns at me.
You said your friends are driving you around. Are your friends the ones in the courtroom right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you had to take any doctor's notes, doctor's therapy class? Have you had to do anything outside of your normal routine? Or were you just able to kind of get back in the car with them, kind of channel your PTSD? Like, how has that been going mentally?
So I just talked to them and they go, "Oh, nah, bro, you're good. Just stick with us and we'll take care of you." And so then I don't have to go be in a car by myself. So if I get pulled over, I'll have someone there with me.
Hell, in the courtroom. Oh
Be quiet.
Hey, excuse me. One more outburst from you, sir, and you will be held in contempt.
They finna,
Officers, can you take care of that in my courtroom? One more outburst, and whoever is back there, cuff him and get him out of my court.
Mr. Dongle, have you had to go to the doctor's office and get any medical bills for this incident?
Yes, sir. I got the medical bill for the taser they had to pull out of my arm because the cartridge was still in my arm.
Gotcha. And are you in any type of physical therapy?
Physical? Not right at the moment.
Okay. So the defense rests his case. That's all the questions that we have for him right now.
All right, Mr. Dongle, you may step down. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait. She needs to cross.
Cross-examine, thank you. All right, Mr. Dongle, it seems like you have, you say you have post-PTSD and stuff like that, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you don't need to have any therapy. You said you seen a doctor take out a cartridge out of your arm. Funny enough is, I do run EMS, head of EMS. So I see every patient that come through EMS, whether I'm in city or not. With these reports, there is no medical record stating that you had any type of physical therapies. You even got a doctor's note from any of the doctors that are on my staff team or not, or any other doctors that come in on vacation times to come work as a vacation. And you also don't have a weapons license, a driver's license, or registered weapons.
I do have a driver's license.
No, sir, you do not.
Yes, I do.
Do not, sir.
I have it in my
So
pockets right now.
I've already
Objection.
looked.
She's badgering the witness, Your Honor. Is
Objection
she asking
based.
questions or is she telling him what he is?
I'm asking
Well,
questions.
I can. She actually made a statement about him having a license, at which time he said he has one. I do have officers in the court. Can I have an officer come up here, please?
Check the database.
Can we check the database and see if Mr. Dongle, in fact, does have a license?
Give me 1 second, Judge.
I also have it right in my pockets. I could show you.
Your ID, based on what you have in your pocket, based what's on the system, is two totally different things.
Has a what, weapons license?
Drivers.
A driver license. He has an identity card. He does not have a driver license.
And weapons license that he stated?
He does not have a weapons license.
Does he also have any weapons registered?
Let me check. Give me a second. He does not have any weapons registered.
Okay.
And we do have all that in the MDT.
Correct.
Which would be accessible to the sheriff's department as well, correct?
Correct.
Which would
Objection,
be warrant for them to. Yeah. All right. So go ahead, proceed.
I have an objection, Your Honor.
Based on
relevance. This case is not about whether my client was guilty of the crime he was allegedly committed. This is about the misjustice of the sheriff's department.
And a lot.
one more outburst like that. Client, can you get him? Can you get your client under control, please?
Yes.
Absolutely, Mr. Dongo. I'm gonna ask you to. Sorry.
I need you to shh. Okay. Sorry. It's okay. You're good.
Now, based on what you said, I will definitely go with what you said. I will sustain that because we are here for what the sheriff's department did, not whether or not Mr. Dongle had license and stuff like this.
So this does warrant with that of the fact, yes, he may have felt like it was injustice in a sense of way, right? In the way he was treated. A lot of people in the city may have felt that type of way at one point or another. But at the end of the day, with this going on, he is riding around in a vehicle, recklessly driving, made an illegal U-turn, right, as stated. When they ran his identification, it still brought up that he had no weapons license, no driver's license. How is that giving him PTSD if he's allowed to be out in the streets doing all this type of stuff out in the open to the public when he can easily injure anybody else without any driver's license? He could easily crash into somebody else, more or less accidentally kill somebody, and say it's an accident. Wouldn't that give other people PTSD for not having a driver's license at least? An identification is just an ID. Not having an actual driver's license to drive around is kind of ridiculous. In any state that you're in, you need to have a driver's license, a valid driver's license. Not having a valid driver's license doesn't make it okay for you to be driving alone. More or less be behind the wheel.
Now, do you have in the case file where the officers filed a report that would say that he had in the record that would warrant their upgrading and escalating the situation of the traffic stop?
So like I said previously stated, I was just now looped into case just recently, moments before, you know, all this was going down in the courtroom. So I just saw what was submitted in the court cases. I have not seen anything else. And just based off what I've seen, this, you know, there's a lot to go off here by.
Your Honor, may I say something?
Yes, you may.
I 100% agree with the prosecution as far as him not having a license or him being a criminal. endangering other people. All of that could be true. All I'm saying is, I feel like as the protectors and servers of the city of Los Santos, I don't think he should have been met with that type of aggression, that type of brute force, regardless of his criminal history.
And that I will agree with, strongly agree with.
And we can agree on that, right? I could also
Yes.
recommend that they also go into a training of like how to properly engage into people's, when they're engaging with people when they pull them over. But at the same
Right,
time,
and we can get into all that
when
we get into what we're going to get into, what's going to happen at the end of the case. If you council members want to talk about it after this, we can.
Okay.
But we need to get on with the case here and the questioning.
Okay. I'm done with my questioning.
Do you don't have any more questions?
Nope.
Vince, do you wish to say anything else to your client before he steps down?
I don't have anything else to say to my client, but I would like to say something to you if possible.
Yeah, go ahead.
Originally, this lawsuit was for $5 million for the, like I said, excessive force, neglect, and illegal seize and search. But I'd like to up that to $10 million because the prosecution just admitted that these police officers haven't even been properly trained on their job. We're talking about training after one of my clients have been involved in something that could have been avoided if properly trained. So
I mean, if we're going to go that route, we could say that your client should enter classes as well, and he is driving on the street and he's possessing firearms.
He absolutely should.
He should take classes as well.
So then it should be the same thing. So he should be fined as well.
$5 million and putting it on the state is kind of crazy.
This is what I'm saying, right? I feel like you're absolutely right. He should take classes for those things, and I feel like the police officer should have informed him that he needs to take those classes, but we never got there because of their absolute aggression.
None of that.
They never even got to talk to him.
I would also like to
legally pulled out the car, and if this was such a big deal that he was driving with no license, that he was driving without a gun license, and all of these things, they let my client go. They never charged him. They never pressed anything. He never went to jail for this. So I feel like if this was that big a deal and they really were scared that he would harm someone else on the streets, they would have pressed charges that day.
Counsel, do you have anything to say about that? Because I don't really know about you issuing a countersuit and adding money to it in the middle of a case. That's like something you would have to file separate. So I don't know.
Okay,
why you
I understand.
even said that
I respect
in court
that.
right now.
Yeah.
I respect it.
We're just gonna.
As far as the case goes right now, we have to talk about the facts in here right now. And she didn't admit anything. She just said what she would recommend if that's what you think is going on with the police department.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
So you don't want to talk anything else to your client?
No, sir, Your Honor.
Mr. Dongle, you may have a seat. Prosecutor, would you like to call your client up?
Yes.
Don't shine, boy.
Defense, if you want to sit up here, you can. If not, you can go back here by your client.
Okay, I'll probably just stay up so I can make sure.
I think I'm shouting.
Okay, that's fine.
What's going on, man?
Hold on. Officer, can we get up here? Can one of you guys get up here to swear? We don't even have an Alan. Yes,
that's
we do.
a great
We have
case,
an officer.
Judge.
Oh, no, we don't. I'll do it. Raise your hands. Put your hand on the Bible. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, whole, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Have a seat. Counsel, you may question your witness.
So, could you please tell me or explain to me how this whole situation arose? Because apparently, from what we're hearing, is that it was from an illegal U-turn that proceeded to happen. Is this true?
Yeah, so, that guy, Harry Dongle, needed to make a hard U-turn, very illegal,
very, very illegal U-turn, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when it proceeded to stop. So that proceeded to stop, and then that is when I had me and my partner, who's not here right now, unable to make it in. Me and him had went up to the car, and noticed some stuff in the car.
Mm-hmm.
But we also, when we asked for his license and registration, noticed a hesitation in his very tinted, like you could barely see through the tent, but like you could see enough to see what's in the vehicle. He was very hesitant to give us his license and registration, knowing he doesn't have it.
Okay.
Now, and I also saw him reaching for something in his back, which obviously forced us to, he's reaching for a gun.
Okay. And so what is y'all's protocol that y'all have in place whenever you see or feel the threat or see a threat of someone reaching while
Well, let's
being
be
pulled
honest,
over?
if someone reaches, you got to reach for your gun, get him out that car as quick as you can. You ain't trying to get shot. I ain't trying to get my officer shot.
No,
we did exactly what we should have done.
Officer, counsel, do you mind if I call up a higher up from the other department and verify that that is the proper training that they go through, just so we're clear here in the courtroom?
Yes, that's fine.
Defense, do you mind that as well? Sir?
Sir, I think your voice box isn't working for us.
Oh, my bad. I said I don't mind.
Can I get a higher up officer, that gentleman right there, drinking the water?
Hey, what's good, John?
Officer.
Hey, appreciate
back
that
there
follow.
eating a sandwich.
Yes, John.
Hey, I appreciate that.
Did you
I appreciate
hear
that.
what this sheriff said about their procedure when a suspect reaches for a firearm? Is it common protocol and practice for you to also reach for your weapon and draw down on the suspect to prevent your life or other officers' lives from being in danger?
That's a tough question. Yeah, if a suspect is pulling a weapon out, I'm definitely gonna pull my weapon out off the muscle. Yep. That's everywhere.
And that is standard practice for police departments.
Correct.
All right. I just need a clarification.
Oh, shots being fired outside.
All right, so you may proceed.
So, as you previously stated, you saw the witness, yes? Yes. Over here, as you said, and y'all had seen him go ahead and reach behind his back. In doing so, y'all drew weapons out. Y'all went ahead and got him out of the vehicle. During that situation, did he warrant like any type of distress that he may be in or anything like that?
I mean, if we're being honest,
the
whole situation was distress. There's guns drawn. We thought we were thinking he's drawing guns at us. He's reaching for guns to shoot at us. We're reaching for guns to shoot at us. Who's not going to be distressed?
No, for sure.
I mean, it's a stressful situation. What I heard in this courtroom today, I heard a lot of lies. Starting with the physical therapy and that shit that he had said.
Well, chill out, sir. I'm gonna watch the language in my courtroom.
Fuck.
Hey, can I get an officer to arrest both of them? I want them both arrested. Both of them.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know what they're thinking they can do up in my courtroom. I don't think so. And you know what? I want them both 60. They lost their mind on my courtroom. You guys may proceed.
During this time, obviously, y'all have made an arrest. What made y'all warrant to not completely just put him under arrest and send him straight to jail after this whole situation finished?
Warranted to not take him to jail and stuff. basically what happened was after all that was being done and said, we had all kind of come to an agreement because he was saying that it wasn't a. We all came to agreement that this shouldn't have went this far for a petty U-turn.
Okay.
So we kind of just let him go, and obviously maybe that is a department fault that we didn't check for his license and registration. But at the end of the day, we're dealing with the highest skill day situation that he caught. And, warrant it or not, like I said, we let him go. We just kind of, went our separate ways. I think it was just a big misunderstanding. He was pulling guns out. We had to pull our guns out. Like I said, huge misunderstanding. And that's what warranted letting him go.
Okay. I appreciate it. Thank you. Up to you.
Do you have any other questions that you want to talk to?
No,
any other
I'm
questions
good.
you want to ask him? All right, defense, would you like to cross-examine?
Yes, sir, I would.
You may proceed.
All right, Mr. Sheriff. So you said you pulled over my client because of an illegal U-turn, an extremely illegal U-turn. I think that's what you said. You said his tints were extremely dark. Is that correct?
They were they weren't super dark, but they were you could still see a little bit in them, yeah.
Okay, so he does have tints on.
Yeah, he does have tints on.
Okay, cool. You also said that you personally seen with your own eyes him reach in his back pocket for a weapon.
Oh, that boy reached.
Okay. So you're looking through tints. You saying that you're seeing him reach. Can I ask why it changed from reaching into his back pocket to reaching for the dashboard? If it was such a certainty that he was reaching in his back pocket.
What the fuck is a party
There's
without
my partner.
me?
Sir,
That's my partner.
Have a seat. Have a seat.
Sir, I'm gonna need you to have a seat.
Client,
Hey, you're a little drunk, man.
counsel, control your
Hey,
client.
I'm gonna need you to have a seat for me. Come on.
Sheriff's acting up.
What the
Come
fuck
on.
is going on in here?
Hey,
Sir,
I'm gonna need you to go
here,
sit down.
please.
Let's
Your Honor,
go.
I'm not
Have
gonna
a
tell you how to do your
seat.
job, but if my
Hey, I
client was
remember
doing
you,
that,
man.
Hey,
Please stay away
It's not
from
her
me.
client,
Please stay
man.
away from me.
he's arresting my client right now.
I put 1,000 units in his ass.
officers, I need y'all to handle him,
That's
please,
the
and
type of
take him.
behavior right there that he's scared of. Can you
Please have him
protect
sit
from
down,
my-
or
can you
please
protect
escort
my
him out of
client?
the courtroom, please.
Control that.
Thank
Oh,
you.
Take care of it,
No, you're
Mr.
good. I
Tracy.
think he's gonna sit his ass down now.
All right, man. Oh, yeah, so.
Take care of it before I take care of
But yeah, I said he's reaching for his back pocket. Where do you think his back pocket? In the back of the trunk, man. My trunk, the back of the seat.
Okay, so is that officer that just walked in? You said he was on the scene as well.
Yeah, but he didn't do it. He didn't. He was.
Well, when he first walked in, you screamed out, "That's my partner! That's my partner!" He
That's
was
my
with you.
partner. I said he was on the scene.
Okay. So I feel like your partner has just showed a very, very, very clear
Showed
example of what happened at that scene. I feel like your partner came in here just now
Hold on.
escalating things, and that's. I'm sorry.
So you're judging my partner based
No.
off how he came in.
Wait. We're not gonna go back and forth here. We're gonna do questions and we're gonna do answers.
Okay. You're right. So back to the drawing. You said you seen him draw from his back pocket, but when he got out of the car, he was in cuffs. You guys said you seen him reaching for the dashboard. Can you understand? Can you explain that confusion to me?
So when basically, that's what I'm trying to explain to you. He realized he did not have his stuff, right? He reached, right? And where the back of your seat is, in the mid, between the two passenger seats.
Mm-hmm.
That's where he was reaching for the gun.
Wait, so he wasn't reaching in his back pocket. He was reaching in his center console.
I mean,
What are you
wherever in the
telling me?
back he was reaching, I seen him reach in the back.
He was reaching behind him, though. That's what you're telling me. He was reaching behind him.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. You're telling me right now he was reaching behind him, whether that was behind the seat behind him, whether it was under his seat. He had to turn around to reach, right?
All he had to do was fucking put his arm out and grab a gun.
Sorry about that.
Okay, so if you put your arm out, grab a gun from behind you, can you see how it's different if you put your arms out in front of you to touch the dashboard? Can you see the difference there?
I mean, there's not really. I mean, there could be a difference.
Okay, let me ask you this. Being a sheriff, right? If you pull over a gun owner that has his weapons license, he is legal, he has a driver's license, not a criminal, how do you expect him to act when you walk up to the car? Where should his hands be?
It should be on the steering wheel.
On the steering wheel. So is that the same direction as the dashboard?
No, but you're missing what I'm saying. So he stuck his arm out to his side, like towards that dashboard, right? Towards the side. He didn't have to reach upwards towards it. He put it to the side, and that's when he started reaching.
You got shots fired outside. Okay. I feel like we're kind of going in circles. So I'm going to move on from that line of questioning.
Yeah, because based on the video evidence that I reviewed, from the clearly seeing, you can just see your client moving around, reaching. So there's a lot of movement in that vehicle.
Right. Okay. So in my law of profession, I've learned that you have to know without reasonable doubt. There has to be absolutely certain in order to try someone of a crime. So it can't be just, it looked like it could be, it has to be absolutely certain.
Well, he wasn't charged with anything. So there's that. That's the whole, and that's my whole problem with this right here. Your client was never charged with anything. So,
right, and we're not countersuing based on charges. We're going based on actions.
Based on actions, absolutely.
And like he said, he understands that this was a big misunderstanding. And I agree. I think it was just a big misunderstanding. A lot of miscommunication on both sides. But that's the part that my client wants to sue for.
He wants to sue for a misunderstanding.
No, he wants to sue for the abuse force, the illegal search, and the neglect. But that, in other words, could be labeled as a misunderstanding.
Okay.
Objection then. At this point in time, it's like he wants to sue the state for $5 million for an illegal search, a pullover, and questioning, and because of how things went down. Because at the end, he just admitted or saying that his client said that it was a big misunderstanding, and he understands that.
No. I said
With
I agree
that,
with your
sir,
client saying it was a misunderstanding.
So let me ask both counsel. Can I? Okay, are you guys done questioning this client, this individual?
I say one thing.
You may say one thing briefly.
So when you read someone their right, you can detain them, and they don't need to be read their rights. They don't have to be read their rights till they get charged with something.
Yeah, the right. Miranda rights
so
are
there is no
guidelines. They're not.
It's an illegal search.
Yeah, Miranda rights. As far as the stuff goes like that, everybody does not have a right to remain silent. But once you read your Miranda rights, you know that if you say anything, it can and will be used against you. So that's all just basic guidelines. They don't have to be read until the point to where you are being charged. All right. So are you guys done with this questioning with this sheriff?
Yes.
Because I feel like I want to see both counsel in my chambers, and I want to talk to both of you.
Okay.
Cool.
Officer, you may be seated.
All right, man.
Thank you.
Can you guys instruct both of your clients to give me a quick 3 minutes, and I want to speak with both of you.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Hey. You made it out, brother.
All right. Look. All right.
Let's take a step out here.
Come here.
Step out here.
So, yeah, everyone keep walking outside.
I think we made it out, honestly.
Okay, so for right now, I need y'all to just stay quiet as possible until we can get done with the judge in his chambers and stuff like that. Just so that way the defendant over there doesn't continue crying, saying PTSD and everything else that's going on that he thinks he has.
Yeah, he lied.
Mm-hmm.
Just ready to get this fucking over with.
I got y'all.
Hey man, what's that on your head, man?
DD had locked
Leave
us
it
up.
there.
This nigga going fucking teleport.
Sorry about that.
Do you know if he wanted us to go ahead and just come in?
I have no idea. He just said he'd see us in like 3 minutes for us to be in his
I guess we
chambers.
wait out here then.
You guys can come in.
Oh, we're good to go in.
How you doing today, prosecutor? You having a good day?
Doing good. How about you?
Doing good, doing good.
That's good. That's good.
All right. So, from what I just went through, hold on, give me a second. All right. So, from what I'm gathering from all this, is that we have a total misunderstanding on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, we have. I'm not going to say the sheriffs are being excessive. I'm going to say that the situation was escalated. The facts that he didn't have any of that stuff, firearms licenses, or none of that. It would have been in the system when they ran it for the U-turn. They would have found everything out as they searched him, but like the state said, they let him go. So I feel like personally, $5 million is a little excessive, as well as the way that it was handled was a little excessive. We can all agree on that.
Yes.
So I want to see if you two can work out some type of punitive deal amongst yourselves, whether it be we knock some of the money off. The defense gives us, itemized statements of pain and suffering. Clearly, he did not go to the hospital or doctor because we do have records of that. So I am a little concerned about those lies that were told. Counsel, you want to talk about that? Because clearly, we definitely proved that he was lying about that. So
about which part?
About his whole thing about going to the hospital and all of his records.
So him telling me that he went to the doctor, I don't know if you guys remember, but he did say that he absolutely did not receive any physical therapy. I asked him, did he go to the doctor? No.
But when you're talking about mental anguish and being scared, that would have to be proven from somebody else that would be legally able to determine that, correct?
Correct.
So I'm not going to say that he's not scared because the video showed clearly he was shaking up, but you could hear it in his voice. But like we all can agree, that was a very stressful situation. So is there anything that you two can come to an agreement on to where we're all satisfied?
Okay. I understand. I get it. Prosecution, would you be okay if we knock the asking price down to $3 million?
If that would be the case, then how about we knock it down to 1? All of PD goes through a special training. Your client also has to attend and go to PTS and actually have a note saying that he has PTSD. He has to get his driver's license within 30 days and a gun license, and he has to take a gun license class on how to properly handle a gun, seeing that he has neither one of these, so incidents like this don't happen again.
Okay. I 100% agree with everything you said that needs to be done after the fact as far as training goes on my client's behalf and your officer's behalf. But I feel like the 1 is a little bit low. So would you be okay with breaking it right down the middle at 2.5? And the only reason that I feel like the license and gun license and all that is because, like I said, whether he's a criminal or not, he should be treated like a regular person. Everybody should be treated the same. So
no, for sure.
I do 100% agree that he needs to get those license and all of that, but I don't, or him not having it should dictate how aggressive the stop is going to be.
No, for sure. I completely understand where you're coming from and where you're speaking on behalf of your client, but you also have to realize is that they're going to treat everybody that way, whether you're you're a lawyer, you're an EMS, whether you're a government worker, whether you're, a gang member, whether you have a criminal record or not, right? If they see you, an officer sees you reaching, they're going to use, what they have been taught through their courses to handle those situations. Did it get out of hand? It did. We can agree. Everything kind of went a little haywire for everybody, right? Stressful all the way around for everyone.
Yeah.
Right.
We can also agree that we're not in, the peaches and cream type city as we've been in this court. We have heard nothing but gunshots all around us.
So
our PD definitely has their hands tied when it comes to, worrying about getting shot out here. I prosecute more cases of cops getting killed by people every day out here. So
I mean, I get shot as EMS as well, and I'm just EMS,
Yes.
and we're not supposed to be getting shot at, but we still do. You know what I mean?
Can we agree with 2.2 and you as the defense attorney would eat the money that would be up to your client to pay you out of that money? Now, if we can go with something like that, that would be something that the court would be able to agree with. I'm just not looking, I don't want to put it as that we're letting these criminals come into court, and I'm not calling him criminal, but I'm setting a precedence for everybody, that they can just claim that they've been excessively forced by, police officers when they are involved in criminal acts and just come into the courtroom and they can get a check. We're not doing that. So I don't want to set that as a precedence. And also, I don't want it to look like RPD is just running rampant around the streets, allowing to pull guns and snatch people out of cars. We're not going that route either. So
I also don't want to
whatever
go down the route of people claiming, PTSD and like mental illnesses
Yeah.
if they're not fully being taken to the hospital and being treated or being what the doctors note, because clearly, as you had cross-examined your own witness, he told you that he was getting rides from his friends, which, as you can see in the courtroom, they're all wearing flags at this point. You know what I mean? So it's like, how do we know for sure that he really has PTSD? If they tell him, no, 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 you don't need to do it, we'll drive you around, and he's just out there just going with the flow, he should still be scared and terrified if he has PTSD just being in a vehicle.
Right, and that's kind of him self-treating himself, him thinking that that's the solution.
Mom, hey, that was that was
No, you're
awesome.
good.
That's why he needs to
You're
go
good.
to an actual doctor.
No, for sure. And so,
medication.
and that's what I'm saying. He needs to be, he needs to see a medical doctor as soon as possible. And I will know.
Agree on that, because that's a fact. If he's feeling like that, and that just puts us in the realms of, do we now allow this man to drive? So if he's getting driven around, are we going to even issue this man a license? Now that's going to have to be something that you're going to have to talk to your counsel. But I mean, as far as I'm concerned, he's scared to drive, and our city has cops and all other types of dangerous criminals running around here. So is his fear going to put the rest of the city in jeopardy by him being behind the wheel of a 2,000-pound machine that could kill anything?
Or just even in a vehicle that he's not even driving, he has no control of either if someone else is driving it, and seeing that, as you can hear,
look at that.
Gunshots are going off just around outside. And not even just that, but
and that's the thing about our PD, and that's just what she's trying to they have to fear for their life every day out here. They don't know if they're going to make it home, as well as the criminals in these streets and other civs. We all have to fear for that. So there comes a, put that back. You know what I mean? They're like the heroes of the city, but they don't all make it home every day.
So I'll say,
but we can agree.
I definitely agree that we messed up on our part. That my client definitely needs to go get the proper treatment. He needs to go get the proper license for not only the driving but the firearm. Like I said, the doctor can way better treat him and give him a way better solution for his PTSD than just riding with other friends. They can give him medication. They can give him, like I said, physical therapy. So. Like
correct. And if our officers are having issues, and if our officers are having issues, you know what I mean? Not saying they are, but if they are having issues with how they handle said situations based on the stressful environment, then we need to also talk to therapists, like she said, about getting them, the counsel and help that they need as well, because we need them as strong as we can to protect us out on these streets.
Right. Both sides messed up. I can agree to 2.2 is fair.
Okay. 2.2 is fair on our side as well.
Okay, well, we will get that drawn up, and I will. You guys can address your clients about what you guys have come up with. Counsel, you can draw the paperwork up, send it through to our office, and the state will handle everything from there.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Would that be the defense or the prosecution drawing that up?
The defense would have to submit the paperwork. You guys will both have to put your names on it. So whichever you two, it's up to you guys how you want to work it out. Actually, come from the defense because you're agreeing to this. So this is like a plea bargain, and you guys actually both have to have both clients sign up on it. So you have to go talk to your clients about this as well before we actually write this
Completely
down.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah, your
Okay.
clients have to know what's going on, and then once you guys talk to them, you guys could return to my chambers and let me know what we're going to do, and then the defense will submit the paper to the prosecution. She will sign it and submit it to my court.
Okay,
Sounds good.
cool. Hey,
Sound like
Judge,
they
can I talk
wrapping
to
it
you
up,
real
man.
quick?
You would like to speak with me?
Nah, with the judge.
Oh,
real quick.
okay. No, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's go talk somewhere private.
Well, Peachy, we just had a lot of events happen just now.
There's offices and shit. Meeting room.
https://discord.gg/dk7qgqmn.
Okay, so we had talked all this through. The judge also has agreed this was like a big misunderstanding all the way around. It was stressful all the way around. They originally wanted to push for 5 mil. We dropped it down to 2.2 mil. Mr. What's his name? Dongle will have to see a medical profession as soon as possible. He has 30 days to get his valid driver's license and register a weapon and get a permit, gun license as well. Attend gun handling classes as well, and see a doctor and have doctor's notes and physical therapy and therapy sessions as well. Stating that he is fit to drive, saying that he has been saying that he's scared for his life to drive. He's been terrified. He doesn't go anywhere unless his friends drive him. I said if he was really had that much PTSD as he's claiming, he wouldn't even be in a vehicle in the first place. He'd be deathly afraid and just be walking everywhere. I said, seeing that he's not that, and in my database of my MDT for EMS, as head of EMS, he has not been to the doctors. He has not seen and gotten any medical or mental help. He did not get any physical therapy or spoken to a therapist for any of this. I said, so until then, he will need to attend all of that. How do we feel about this?
I feel like we shouldn't have to pay anything if he's not, you know what I mean? Like if he's not active, if he can't show that he's got the issues he's got and shit like that, there's no way we should have to pay anything. You know what I
No,
mean?
for sure. That's what I was agreeing to and telling them that we shouldn't have to pay for it. Like, y'all shouldn't have to pay for any of that. In the case of that, they said that they would make it like a court mandate that he has to show proof of all of this nonsense or medical stuff that he's saying that he has, and seeing that if, you know,
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you go in there and just tell him that? Right.
That y'all don't want to pay?
No, not that with that, but I'm saying go in there and be like, Judge. Now, what's the proceedings if someone lies on the court? Yeah.
Okay.
Because he definitely lied,
he lied
about that shit. So that means he should be immediately disqualified from every single thing. Like that witness out of there.
Okay.
Like because he lied about the shit that nothing ever happened. Like you said, he never did that. So it's like you know what I mean. So there's no integrity there. And he lied under oath.
Okay. I got you. Be right back.
Damn, fellas. About to start spitting some bars, fellas.
How's it going, man?
Hello.
Well, I've heard that as well. But as far as the driver's license, I do know that that is a city issue, and I can vouch for the fact that I haven't even went and taken that damn test. Nobody does. So I think that that is we're going to call that a glitch in the matrix. And if the council can agree with that, we are just going to leave those two alone because that is something that is uncontrollable. However, the license, him going up there, I would urge him to, well, I don't even know if he's going to have to be cleared now medically to even have that firearm. So that's going to be something that you're going to have to talk to him about as well. If we're going the medical route with him being in fear of everything, he would have to be medically cleared to have that firearm license because at this point, yeah. No, you don't. So that
license thing is because he's saying he did everything on his end, thinking that he was good. He thought he did.
No, I believe that. I believe all that.
So with that being said, he think 2.2 is too low. I told him that I tried to get 3, but he just really said he feels like he should get 3 because, like he said, he thought he did everything right. I told him I'll come back here and tell you, but
okay, well, let him know that because of what was discovered after the fact, by him not having a weapons license, he was in possession of an illegal firearm then at that point, unregistered firearm.
But he did have one. It just wasn't registered in the system.
And so that would be something on the state at that point. That would be something. So if we would have to go to a trial and go get evidence and go get officers, we would have to find the officer. Yeah, he don't have 4K on none of that. So like, I don't even know. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, to be honest with you, and he probably don't either. Because then they're going to start bringing up his record and does he have priors and all that stuff? Does he really want to go down that? I don't know his record. You know what I mean? It could be good. He could not.
So he can hear from you. No. If not,
well, no, we don't. Yeah, that's between you and your counsel. That doesn't have nothing to do with me. If he's not satisfied with the plea agreement, then we will have to set a trial.
Okay, let me go tell him that.
Yeah, but also let him know that that's going to open up Pandora's box for anything he's got, any skeletons in his closet. So
I got you.
So it seems like my clients would not like to pay the 2.2 mil, seeing that I had told them if they did pay this, the other stipulations would be the defendant would actually have to go and see a medical provider, saying that he never went and did any of these steps, but he still came and he still, as he openly admitted in court, that he's still getting into a vehicle as much as he says he has PTSD and being in a vehicle or around officers and stuff like that and everything else that happened, and seeing that he does not have any notes, he does not have anything in the medical department saying that he's this terrified, but yet he's riding around in vehicles with his friends.
Right, and if that's why I just told him, if we can't come to an agreement on both sides, this is going to have to go to trial because with the facts that I've seen, it's very unclear in the video. Did you see the video? Like, you really can't tell from the angle that, Mr. Dongle gave. And I don't have any footage from sheriffs, so it kind of makes it hard for me to side either way.
Yes.
But on the facts that I have, yes, it was an escalated situation. Yes, it was kind of excessive, but at the same time, like I said, the cops go through a lot in the city. Movements can, send one of them to the morgue or send one of them home based on who draws faster, and we don't get into that with suspects. And he, like us, he did something illegal at the point which warranted the stop. So I can't just throw it out based on, him saying, well, I was scared. So with no medical record, like we said.
Yeah, no medical record. There's nothing that, this, with all of this, even without having this medical record and stuff like that, this is also going to cause him to not be able to have a driver's license, not being able to have a gun license or anything like that as well. He could essentially, if they wanted to come back, they could come back and
do a lot of stuff.
Do a lot of stuff at this point,
And if he has a record behind any of this, if we go to trial, they're going to open up that box, and then it's going to determine whether they had a right to do any of that anyway. If he has a criminal record, then they're going to be like, well, then you shouldn't have had a gun anyway. So
Yep.
just depends on what route he wants to go down.
Okay.
I mean, he can take no money or he can take some. And if the sheriff doesn't, if the department does, your client's not satisfied with it, then we have a quadrant right there as well. So yeah, we're going to have to figure that out on both sides.
Okay.
And both sides are going to have to come to an agreement. If not, we're going to have to set a trial date, and we're going to have to get evidence and witnesses on both sides.
Okay. I will go talk to my clients right now. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much. I
Thank
appreciate you.
Where did they go?
I didn't even really see much of it. We was on our own bullshit.
Yeah, we beat it, right?
So the client wants he thinks 2.2 is low. He wants to shoot for 3 mil.
What the fuck? We keep changing it for?
I told the judge that the state didn't want to have to pay for that, seeing that he doesn't have any medical things in that. It was brought to my attention that it was said that if both parties cannot agree to some kind of agreement today, there will be another trial set. And from there, another trial, which will be set that we would need more evidence and stuff like that. And it could open up everything from his past from now up until court date till the very beginning when he first set foot in city. Anything and everything that he does.
Yep, sounds good to me.
Okay.
See you later.
Making threats to him. He told him, apparently the officer told him he's going to shoot him with buckshot or something like that. And he got the 4K for that. And
he's got that in 4K?
Yeah, he got the 4K.
So you want to tell counsel, yeah, you want to tell counsel, sheriff, look, it's not funny, but sheriffs are tweaking. They have threatened the client in the courtroom. So I would probably advise you guys to take this deal because you still have her.
So what was the threat? Because I didn't see any harassment. I don't have this body cam. He needs to send it up. Without it, I don't see it. It's not valid.
Right. So what they're saying is that go ahead and tell her what you just told me.
So when I went out there and talked to my client, he said he was going to accept this plea deal. He was like, okay, boom, we can close this case. He said, but while we were having our case, remember the officer that ended up coming in drunk a little bit late?
Mm-hmm.
He said that he sat behind him while we were up there talking to the witnesses, and he was whispering to him in his ear and calling him names and stuff like that. And he told him he was going to shoot him with buckshot. And he said
that he has it in 4K.
Yeah, and he said he's probably going to try to open up another case, another lawsuit for that.
So then that would be something different from this case.
Right.
It's not this case.
Yeah,
so
clearly,
obviously you can't try that in this. That has nothing to warrant in this case at this point.
No. He was just I just wanted you to be aware of your client's still excessive behavior.
So my only client that I am dealing with at this moment is the only one we had on stand.
She representing his ass.
No, and that's what she's right. And
it's right.
So that's
another
not
case. That's not mine. That's not mine.
Nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with that. That is the sheriff's department. That is another lawsuit. She's absolutely right.
But I just want to let y'all know.
No, for sure. If he sends it up and he wants to go through that, then yeah.
Yeah. And if he wants to that's on him, and that's just more money in her pocket to represent him again unofficially. You know what I mean? But so what does your client say about he's still not willing to go with the 2.2?
Let me double check.
He said he's willing to do it.
Nah, your client is, but hers is not. Yes.
Okay, let's go talk. Come on. So your partner there kind of fucked up. I ain't gonna lie to you. He went and sat behind the defendant and started telling him all kinds of stuff, whispering stuff into his ears while we're in the middle of cross-examining you, letting him know that he was gonna find him and shoot him with buckshots and stuff like that. Lawyer says that defendant has it in 4K. And we'll be opening up another lawsuit as well against him. I told him that doesn't precedent of what the case and trial that's going on at hand now, because I'm not representing him. I'm representing you in this case. That has nothing to do with him. The client or the defendant says that he's willing to do the 2.2 mil and take all these extra things that he needs to do just to wrap this up. If you don't want to agree to this, then we would have to go and have another court case.
We don't pay the 2 mils after he shows proof it's shit, right?
That's what I'm saying. There's no proof. How could we pay? Showing that there was actual emotional distress. We don't have any evidence of notes or nothing. So I would say until then.
Yeah, so I'll take it, but like I said, I'm not dropping no money from the department until I see something from him. He's not allowed to drive anything.
As much as he's scared, he shouldn't be allowed in any vehicles around people like that. Shouldn't have any illegal weapons or anything. My thing is at the end of this day, after this is all said and done, I say that he has to be closely watched in a sense of any illegal activities that could be later put on for further trial if needed.
If you get a hold of me tomorrow, I'll put my DA hat on and we'll discuss that. As well as yours, counsel. We need to discuss your pay as well. Are you going to be a permanent member of the court now?
Ooh, that's a good question. I was kind of like roped into this kind of like last
I'm already knowing, me as well. Listen, you already know I was too. So
look, if my lingo, so to say, isn't correct, I'm sorry. I'm learning as I go on the fly. I just like to argue. That's just me, though, right?
It was fun. I
say you did great.
I was like nervous. I was telling my eyeballs, I was like, guys, I don't know what I'm doing. This may not be the best thing. I got fucked up.
After court, I ain't gonna lie. When I got out of court, I was gonna come and ask you, hey, look, we're gonna need you back in the court.
Yeah, that was fire. That was fire.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you did a great job.
For sure. I appreciate it. Thank y'all.
And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and the gods are gonna make you have a job, so you'll be able to sign into it and get paid as well. So
okay, well I appreciate that.
We're gonna take care of that too. Yeah, and I know you wear many hats.
No,
out
for
here
sure.
like I do.
No, for sure. Hey, I'm fine. I like staying busy, so that's okay with me. I thrive under pressure and doing everything I gotta do.
Cool. So, all right. So, what did your client say about this deal? Is he for?
So right now he's against, because seeing that it doesn't show any like medical records of saying that he has this much PTSD, distress, and feelings of everything that's going on, and he has, he openly admitted in court while we were cross-examining him that if he has this much PTSD, he shouldn't still be getting into other vehicles that he has no control of either, driving around.
I don't think he has PTSD of crashing the car. He has PTSD of 7 officers pulling up on him. So when he rides around, he just wants to be with other people. You know what I'm saying?
No, for sure. But my thing is like, if he's that afraid of officers, then shouldn't he just be inside his home? He shouldn't be going out as much. You know what I mean? Just because of the fact that it's like he's afraid of the officers. If he's that afraid of officers, he wouldn't even have shown up for his court case today, seeing that he was that scared.
But you seen what happened when he showed up?
No,
Does he have a good reason to be scared?
Well, I mean, look, I didn't witness this. Your client witnessed this, but I didn't. You know what I'm saying? That's another case for another day.
Yeah,
we did see him walking crazy. You know what I mean?
Say this.
But you also have to understand as well. I fear for my life every day with all these gang members. They're shooting. I get shot at all the time. His friends that he claims that were sitting in the stands or in the audience, whatever you want to say. One of them, as me and we have witnessed in there, took a hatchet and hit his own member in blood,
And
right
I
there in
had
the court
and they
case.
stabbed one of them at the
Mhm.
beginning too. Like,
So
so there
you know what
there
I
are
mean?
violent people
It's
that are around already.
you know what I
And I
mean.
see both sides of that. So
This is
that's
all
why I
I'm gonna
said,
say.
do we
If
want to open
I
up
can,
Pandora's box and go this route?
I can go back out there and tell him that they don't want to accept it, but I had to kind of tell him he need to take this 2.2. He wanted to push higher, so I highly doubt he's gonna go any lower. But I can try.
My thing is, without any medical records, no nothing stating that any of this, you know, he has all these fears. How do you want the state to pay for it would make sense if he went to a medical provider, got all of these statements, had all of this in writing, had all of this submitted, didn't have none of this. If that was the case, the state would be fine to have paid for this, to reimburse him back for his medical time and everything else that he was put through, his emotional distress and all of that. But seeing as there's none of that in there, what's the state really paying for at this point?
That I agree with, because if we're basing that, so now attorney fees, yes, you would get your attorney fees regardless. But as far as his medical pain and stuff, that's why I'm a little bit on the fence. I'm with her on that one, because we clearly do not have records of that. So for his pain and suffering, now fear, he outright is scared, but we're all scared. He doesn't have any proof that he has, went through this suffering other than his words. So now, as your counsel, that's something y'all gotta work out. You're to defend your client. She is to defend the state. So I see where you're coming from. Your client told you that, but he also got, hatched on the stand when there were no records provided. So now if he could, he wants to provide records and y'all want to take this to trial. Again, I'm saying
So let me
that's
ask you
where
this.
it's gonna have to go.
Let me ask you this. Being that because honestly, it's not even really between me and the prosecution. It's really between the two clients. And it don't sound like they're gonna come up with no middle ground.
So let me
right? So it
address.
sounds like we're gonna go to trial.
Let's go out here. Y'all go back to your clients, and I'm going to address the
Sorry,
court one more
excuse me.
time and make this clear. Yeah.
It's about to get a little wicked. I ain't gonna lie. Oh man.
All right. I would like for all four of my, both of my council members and their clients to approach my bench, please. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let me put this to you the way I can put it to you as easy as possible. The defense has come up with a lucrative offer, and the prosecution has deemed it that they were going to accept it. Now, we have the problem of both of our clients on either side not wanting to, one or the other accept a deal. So what I will present to you both is that if we can't come to an agreement on both sides tonight, we're going to try, because deciding based off of money is not something that I'm going to sit in the courtroom and do all night back and forth. And both counsels have agreed that you guys both are not going to accept either things. So I'm going to ask you two personally, and this is a yes or no answer. Mr. Dongle, do you want to go to trial?
Oh, my bad. Can you repeat that? My bad.
Yeah, you guys can't come to an agreement, so the only other option is we're going to trial. So I'm going to ask you, do you want to go to trial?
No.
The sheriff's department, sir, do you wish to go to trial on this matter? Sheriff?
Brother?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you want to go to? Do you want to take this to trial?
Yep, I need a jury.
Counsel, is that what we're going to do with this here? That's what your client, so we have to go with what your client
If
say?
that's what my client wants to do, then we'll go to trial.
All right. Well, then, what I order both of you to do?
Can I ask something real quick?
You sure can.
Sheriff, is there a compensation that you would be okay with, or are you fighting for absolutely no compensation?
I ain't gonna lie, I'm not compensating nobody.
So absolutely $0.
Until he gets checked out to where I think that until he shows proof that he do have mental health or whatever issues PTSD, etc., I don't think it's warranted to pay any type of money.
So let me ask you this. So if the client would go get medically evaluated and he is proven to have PTSD, at that point, would you be willing to pay out the money?
No, because this is my biggest issue right here. We're all talking about it. He said he had PTSD coming in, and he lied. He technically lied on the stand, right?
And
I
he
don't
did.
think he lied. I think it was just more self-diagnosed.
It was
Well,
not.
he
That's just
lied
a
when he said
lie.
he went to doctors. That
In
was
my-
so when he
in my
when he said
opinion.
that, and we did talked about that in the chambers. It's what he told you versus what is the truth.
That's
So
what's frustrating to me, Your Honor. Is
Frustrating to me. Wait, may I speak?
Yeah.
What's frustrating to me is an officer also lied on the stand saying I was reaching, even though in the evidence I was nowhere near reaching.
You're not even.
Wait, now hold on. In the video footage, it is unclear what you were doing. There was a lot of moving around, so it's
right. So he has to be innocent until proven guilty. It has to be 100% fact that he's guilty.
Okay, but
If it's
hold on. We're not
50%,
even talking
then
about
that.
that.
Doesn't count. It can't be
Yeah,
50%. It has to be 100. He's innocent.
On the stand.
All
How
right. So
did I
look, this is
lie
what
on
we're going to do. This is what we're going to do. We're going to trial because I can clearly see that nothing's going to get worked out here, and we've already been in this courtroom for long enough. All right. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to set a trial date. I want you guys to both get your evidence, both sides, gather your witnesses, and I want it all submitted into the court case files and tag judge. Don't tag a specific one because we don't know who's going to take the case. But it's probably going to be me. But I need everybody's I's dotted and T's crossed. You need to get all this stuff to me by what's today? Saturday?
WTFFF, this still going on.
By Tuesday?
Okay.
So that'll give you guys all time to gather witnesses, witness statements, body cam evidence, and everything that you want to need. And that'll give the court time to get jury members to go through this. We're going to have a jury selection. Hopefully, I am going to say it's probably not going to be 6 or 7. It's probably going to be more like 3 or 4. It's going to be made up of LSPD and civs, if I can find one. I don't know how.
I know a few civs that can be impartial to all of this.
Okay,
without
yeah,
any
'cause that's
time.
what we wanna
I
do.
will just let them know that there's like a court hearing at some point, and if they want to participate, if they would just come speak to whoever's gonna be
May I
issuing
ask,
stuff like that.
Those civs not be friends of people?
I was gonna say.
No, for sure, they're not
prosecution gets to
friends.
Bring in Sibs. Can I bring in some too?
No, I definitely want. So that's why I want this to be, uneven. I want one apiece from each of your side. They have to be civs though. Can't be gang
hold
members or
on.
none of that.
Can I say just one thing now? Now that we
Yeah.
So like, this is my biggest issue, y'all. Even you agreed to it, Judge. He did lie on the stand. How can we expect him to come into a trial in front of jurors and actually be truthful in front of the stand if he did it here?
Well, the reason why I'm giving that opportunity is because there was no evidence presented from the state side besides your testimony. There was no video, none. So I'm basically going off of
the lie.
No, what I'm allowing the court time to get the information, because if of what I know now, I can't say that there wasn't excessive force. Now, what I can say is it wasn't excessive to the dollar amount of $5 million. I can say that he did lie in court. That's my problem with this, which is why I would rather it go to trial, because he lied in court about having a medical record. He was never diagnosed with anything. But you have to give the person a fair trial. I can't. This is just preliminary, so he has to go to trial. It's not. I can't just make my ruling right now in court anyway. So we would have to go to trial. If we can't come with a plea agreement right now, it has to go to trial.
So now my other question is: so would he be like negated from the stand then, since in the preliminaries he lied about?
His testimony would be negated because what he said was a lie. He lied about, and I'm sure his counsel can agree
Damn
with that
enough,
as well.
W,
He lied
the
to his counselor
questions.
as well. So that right there is it. You lied. We proved that right here in the courtroom on record that there was no medical records. He didn't see no doctors, so none of that was true. So his PTSD and him being upset is on him. He can be upset, but having physical documentation from a doctor therapist, we don't have any of that proof. So yes, you're right, very right in saying that, which is why I can't rule on this right now.
Okay.
Unless y'all make an agreement.
That's all I wanted to know, man.
Yeah, you're 100% right. But because he lied on the stand already about his medical stuff, and that counselor, he's also going to have to do that before he comes to trial. He's going to have to go see a medical doctor, and he's going to have to get that documentation in order to come to court and stand on what he's saying and saying that he has PTSD.
Gotcha, absolutely.
But even at that point, like, it don't really, I mean, like, it don't really matter now, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, he lied to his counselor. That's
it's kind of like,
Yeah,
I don't have any proof that I don't have proof that he lied either. You know what I'm saying? So I can't. I'm not a medical examiner, so I don't know.
See, and that's the thing. I am head of EMS. I have all the documentation. He has not been in for any type of evaluation of that sort of mental illnesses. So, seeing that there isn't any, how is it that at this point in time, if we do go on to trial, that it's going to be put into effect now, saying like, oh yeah, now we have to pay now because after the fact that it's caught that he was lying.
That's why I'm with the that's why I'm talking to the defense about this, because clearly I don't. That's why I wanted to go to trial, because I don't think the defense. I don't think you understand as a defense. You're defending your client, so I don't think it's clear what is going on. He did not have PTSD from none of this. Therefore, how can he make a lawsuit based on lies?
Yeah, that's wasting taxpayer monies and everything else that's going on right now.
We're in a quadrant. Yeah, that's where I'm at with it right now. Now, did he, in his mind, was that video showing that was a little excessive? We can all agree that it was. Now, was it $2 million excessive? Because now he's suing for pain and suffering that I can come to court and say I have pain and suffering and not have no basis.
I mean, we could all say the same thing. Any officer could say the exact same thing because they're out in the streets every day. I could say the same thing too as EMS. Even as lawyers, we could say the exact same thing. But it's not like we're out here running around saying bases on stuff like that.
Do you want to talk to your client about this, or do you want to take it to trial? Because, I mean, you can even agree that he lied to you. And he openly lied in court. So that's the problem.
This is all I'm going to say. If you're telling me we can go to trial, my client's gonna be allowed to go see a doctor, get the proper paperwork, then of course we can take it to trial. If you're telling me that if my client does go do that, it's gonna be inadmissible and it's not gonna be able to use, and we're gonna be able to have the same evidence that we had in this trial, there's gonna be no new evidence found.
I mean, well, at the point of right now, let me ask you this. Because your client based this case off of PTSD that we have now found in court that is not true, what do you think we should do? I just want your opinion.
In my opinion, I feel like a lie is kind of pushing it. I feel like if something happened, like I said, we can see the other sheriff come in here and press my client right there on the stand. I know that's not in this case, and I'm not asking it to be in this case. But what I'm saying is there's some truth to what my client is saying. No, he didn't.
I'm not saying he's lying at all.
Okay.
So not saying he's lying at all about that.
What I'm saying is you don't have to go, just because you don't go to the doctor and they tell you, hey, you have COVID, doesn't mean you didn't have it for the last 5 days. You know the symptoms that you're having. You know what's going on. So I 100% agree he should have went to the doctor. He definitely should have got a doctor's note. I get it. But
my thing is, if he was that scared he has that PTSD, then he haven't been going outside. He shouldn't be in vehicles with his friends and stuff.
You can't tell my client what he
My thing is like there's sheriffs, there's cops, there's people working 24/7. You want them to completely stop what they're doing for him to be fine?
To have guns around them. My client.
Wait. That's the case. Your client is hanging out with gang members. He just pointed out directly, openly in court that he's getting rides from people in gangs of EBK. Did he not?
But that is something else. We're talking about the fact that he based this case off of him saying he was scared and had PTSD. Isn't that what is in the paperwork?
That is in the paperwork.
Right. So hold on. Wait. Hold on now. Wait. But wait. You can't. But you can't. If you are not a medically trained person that has medical certification, you cannot put a medical term on something. PTSD is a medical term that has to be. So he would have to be a medical certified person to put that on documentation to say he had it, which would have to be backed up by somebody that has a certification.
And
That's
the thing,
why
he
I'm
never
like,
went.
he didn't do that.
That's why I think that it should be okay for him to still see a doctor, because just because he self-diagnosed himself doesn't mean a doctor can't come behind him and correct him of his self-diagnosis.
What is
No, for sure.
We're not saying, but we're not saying he
thing
can't.
is
We're not
is
saying he
like,
can't get help. But
if
the
that's
basis
the
of this
case,
trial, he can't sue for something that may have been. Like, we're going to say that.
So can he see a doctor or not? If he can't see a doctor, there's no point in taking it.
There's nothing stopping him from seeing the doctor. But the seeing the doctor.
Can we use it in the next trial? Can we bring the court the doctor's notes and all of that up here to the next trial, or is it not going to be used?
My thing is if we're already having this case now and he's claiming that it was PTSD and all this in the notes, why didn't he previously bring it? He should have had it beforehand ready to go. He should have had that. My thing is like, at this point, why even go to another trial and go through this again if he the first time didn't do it, lied about it, didn't have the proper paperwork, didn't actually see anybody?
All right, hold on. Wait, let me ask Mr. Dongle something. Mr. Dongle.
Yep.
I want to hear out of your mouth. Why did you lie on the paperwork stating that you had PTSD based off of what diagnosis? Can I ask you that?
Why I lie about not going to a doctor?
Yes.
What do you mean?
I mean, that was a clear question.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm kind of slow, so like.
What I mean was why did you give instruction to your attorney to write a suit for you that stated all of this stuff that is not true?
It's not true. Well, to be honest, I didn't think to go to a doctor because it was so fresh in my mind, right? And I couldn't really go to where cops would normally be at, just in case they come up to me and say some weird stuff like they did at the stop, and I didn't want to go back through the stress.
So as his answer, we're going to trial because he clearly does not understand what is going on. See that right there.
Sorry.
Because he's saying that he can't leave the house pretty much. That where he just told me he didn't want to be around where. Wait, so now you when did this happen? 4 days ago? 2 days ago?
Tuesday. Yes, Tuesday.
So you've had how many days to go to a doctor?
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. 4 days now.
Diagnosed.
And you just stated that you didn't want to go because police might be around, which means everywhere that you potentially go, a cop could be, and you're riding around with your friends. So I'm just trying to make it make sense. You've had ample time to go see a doctor. Client, now can you agree with that? Your attorney here, can you agree with what I'm saying?
Can I go talk to my client real quick?
Yes, please.
Come back. Come on.
Counsel, you want to talk to your client too? Because I got a feeling that he's not trying to. Because right now, I can't have one side or the other disagreeing.
No, for sure. I just feel at this point, this whole thing should be dropped at this point, just because of the fact that this is the fact that there's no medical proof of anything that happened. He's had 4 days until then. PD is not constantly on all day 24/7. Understand that. EMS is in, and they're not in all the day, every day, 24/7 either. So when we are in, nobody shows up. When we are at Pillbox, you know,
and
he could
PD
easily,
has been in a lot too,
you know what I mean? But he has opportunities, as he stated. He's driving with friends so he can feel safer. Why didn't he ask one of his friends to bring him into Pillbox to get this medical help? Why now, all of a sudden, now that we want to go to court or go to trial, now he wants to go get it done? Well, now to claim to show proof that he has PTSD now. Like he's had all this time.
Is there any? Okay, so as we stated back in the room, is there any amount of money that we can give so we ain't got to go to trial and his lawyer can get paid?
I'm gonna be honest, man. Like, listen, man, we can't really go to trial because here's the thing: after lying on the oath like he did, right? none of what he's saying can even be like valid anymore. Right? 'Cause he
I mean,
lied under oath.
technically, she ain't even supposed to have them records and be over here because that's she's actually not allowed to present that in court. She's an attorney, so she couldn't actually present them medical records unless she took the stand and presented them as a witness. So technically,
Okay.
that's invalid.
Okay.
I didn't want to,
No, for
say
sure.
that,
Yeah,
but that
but
that's invalid. So her actually being a medical examiner and an attorney and being able to access that information is not allowed really either.
I have other medical providers. Once they do fly in, if you,
Right. Now they could,
like I'm
yep,
saying,
yep.
you, as anyone can hear me, you would like to speak to them, you're more than welcome to
Yes,
see
and
any
I
of that.
already know because I can see them too when you know what I mean. But if we're doing it the right way, we've got to do everything the right way. We don't want either side to get a sour taste, right?
No,
So
for sure. Like I
we
said,
gotta make
you
it-
would be able to get in contact with them, and you would be able to speak to them directly, or however, vice versa, you need that to happen on your behalf, and for the court's case and stuff like that. So that way, there's no one's ever thinking any type of other ways than that. You know what I mean?
And do you actually, officer, do you actually want your body cameras and your footages and all that stuff to be brought into court? And are there any of that once we go? Because I get what you're saying about the lies, but you still have to go on the excessive force, and you can't just throw it out and have no punitive damage. Now he didn't go to the doctor, so there's gonna be no medical. There ain't gonna be no medical. All he's gonna get is attorney fees. So I
here's
think
the thing,
2.2
right?
in attorney fees is a little crazy.
If he thinks, but if he thinks, you know, after all this, you know, he's claiming all these false lies and all this, you know, PTSD thing, this, that, the other. Like I said, I think a jury would have a hard time believing him. And I think also, like, I don't know. I just think.
And if you and if that would be a stronger case for the state to win, then maybe we need to go to trial. Then see that's why I'm saying
Right, yeah, but he
both
can't.
sides.
Yeah.
He
So
can't.
he can't take the stand though next time, can he?
He can take the stand, but he can't base none of this stuff on being medically diagnosed because we've already proved that it's a lie.
Now will this shit that happened in here be explained to the jury why he can't use the stuff they already used? Because like if the jury finds out,
that'll be up to your counsel to put that to provide that information to the jury.
So we'll just put that in our information that he in the preliminary hearings he lied on. So,
Which he'll have to have that as a statement in his documentation as well, because that is attorney-client privilege, and he put that out in the public in the courtroom, so he lied in public. So
yeah.
Yo, what's the word, my boy? Appreciate you for popping in chat. My bad, yo.
Nah, you get we all running eyes. So I get it. I was trying real hard to be real quiet. I was like, oh, thank you so much.
Man, I have my push to talk
I
set
that.
too.
Yeah. I tried to. I was like, I can't do push to talk while we're doing this.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and I feel like that. Me personally, I want to go to trial.
No, for sure.
Because I'm interested in seeing both sides, because he clearly has some. I ain't gonna lie. Some of that, sometimes we have to get a little. I got cousins on PD. Sometimes we have to get a little excessive, but it's up to.
Your Honor.
No, for sure.
Right.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. I was having one too a minute ago.
So we just have one question, and then we'll be able to tell you if we're gonna take this to trial. We're gonna go ahead and just drop it.
Okay.
So if my client was to go to with everything that you guys said about him already not having it, we already here, he lied on the stand. If he was to go get the doctor's notes, would you allow it to be used in the next trial date, or would it be ruled inadmissible because of everything that happened today?
I mean, this is going to be the problem. If he goes to the next trial, him having the documents is still not going to get it. Like, he had 3 days to, because of the time frame. It's nothing stopped him from going to get the medical records if he should have had them now, because he put it on the lawsuit, right? So his words, I did this and I did that medically, negates him getting medical payment from the court for pain and suffering. Now, the excessiveness and all that, Yes, but when we go into the fact that he lied on the, like, that is the main thing. Lying under oath. You raised your hand, and in another court, you would have been, hit, and you would have went to jail because you're not allowed to lie on court. You know what I mean? You know that, counsel. He should be sitting in jail right now. So, as per that, I cannot say that having them medical records is going to help his case at all, because his PTSD could have been taken care of if he was so worried about it, and you would have had them records right now. And then, because I'll be honest, if you had records and we had irrefutable evidence, I mean, you would have, there would have been no denying it. I would have been like, cut and dry case. He's getting a check.
Okay,
However,
so with all that being said, we, as the defense, we're just going to go ahead and drop the case. No point in taking this to trial and furthering this thing any longer.
Okay.
Okay.
You guys agree with that?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
My client has agreed, and we agree on that.
Now, one piece of advice I will give Mr. Dongle, Harry, sir, if you feel like that you have PTSD and you feel like you have all these problems, and I strongly recommend that you go get help, because I don't want you to ever feel like that you should fear being in the streets of Los Santos, because our officers clearly are here to protect and serve. However, I would say that you are having extenuated things from other stuff, and you might want to go get that checked out, because now you don't want to be around people at all, and you want your friends to be around you, and I understand that, and that's a fear thing. So I would highly advise you go get checked out, and I would advise you to go get your driver's license, not just a physical card, but actually go take the test, as well as, let me explain to you, and I don't know if your counsel did, if you go get medically examined and you are deemed medically incompetent and you have PTSD, and I'm sure your counsel will tell you, your attorney will tell you, you are not allowed to even have a firearm or be around them. So I just want to make sure that you understand that as well. If you get medically examined and it comes back that you're deemed that you are not allowed to have a firearm, then you will not be allowed to have one. And if you are in possession of one, then that is a felony. So I just want you to know that as well before we go down that route. But I do want you to be, known in your, in this city that you are safe, and our officers do not do that. It was just a heated situation. And I would also strongly advise you that if it ever becomes a heated situation again, you are within all rights of yourself to bring it back to court, because I do not want my officers excessively abusing any of our citizens, none at all. And I feel like we can both agree on all sides that it was a little bit heated situation, and things got, done.
What you get banned for?
But if we can all agree that this is how we're going to handle this, then I will definitely adjourn court, and I will say both counsels will have to talk to your, representatives about getting your payment for court today.
Okay.
Okay,
That
I
will not
appreciate
be
you,
on
Ron.
the court. Yeah, we're not going to, put that on the court. That will be on you guys, considering that we have both agreed we're going to drop it. Can I have defense draw up a document and you guys both sign it, put it in my court stating that this has been handled the way it has been handled, and we will be done with this case?
Gotcha.
Are both parties satisfied with the, what we came out here in court?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so can I also, before we leave, Mr. Dongle, Sheriff, can I get you to apologize to the sir with the excessiveness? You kind of scared that gentleman. If he'll accept your apology, I would like for that to happen, because we don't want to have a bad taste in the mouth of Sir, Dongle out here with how our PD treats people out here, because we do not do that.
Hey, love.
I apologize, Mr. Dong.
All right, if we're all satisfied, this court is adjourned.
Thank you.
I appreciate you, Judge.
Thank you,
Thank you,
guys.
Judge. Y'all have a good one.
You guys have a good one.
Have a good one, man.
Thank you.
Can I talk to you real quick before we leave?
Yes.
Damn.
I just want to say
What did I miss?
it was super super fire of you to think about him not getting them doctor's records, because he definitely should have went to Peel, but nobody would have thought to even go get physical therapy like that. So I just wanted to give you your props. That was fire.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
But just so you know, with your other sheriff, Mr. Noggle finna go straight to EMS right now, get his paperwork checked out. Everything gonna be crisp and pristine when we come back in here next time.
No, for sure. He can definitely do that.
It was good working the courtroom with you.
You too. Girl, you missed it all. It was a wild out here, so they roped
Oh
me
my
into
God.
being
DA.
a lawyer. Hello.
That was fire.
Thank you. I appreciate
That
it.
was fire.
If you ever need
lawyer.
if you need a lawyer, let me know. I'm around at some point. I think they're still trying to figure that out right now.
Man. But look, the other lawyer, that's my brother, IRL.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Nah, that
Oh,
was fire
man.
though.
Thank
that,
you. I
that case was
appreciate it.
dope. Yeah,
I appreciate
y'all
it. Thank
did
you.
that.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But it was pretty crazy. They hired me last second to get help and to come help out. This guy right here with the blue in his hair was stating that he had PTSD, was suing the sheriff's department for wrongful, like they gave him PTSD because of the way the aggressiveness and stuff like that that they did for all of this. And yeah, it just turned into a case, but we just got it dropped on all charges. Oh damn, they all left. I didn't get paid. Oh, man. Oh, excuse me, ma'am. Please get out the way. Thank you. But yeah, he was claiming that he had PTSD, which is so cool, right? Like, not cool, but like, you can say you have PTSD. Anyone could say that. But at this point in time, he had no paperwork showing proof of said PTSD or anything like that from all of this. And when that happened, it just got chaotic. Oh.
Yo, how did it go?
Hi. It went good, I guess. They said I did good. I was confused of what I was saying in there anyways. They asked me to be an actual lawyer in here. They said I did
I mean, I
really
only got a
good.
little bit of it, but it looked like you did good.
Apparently, because they told me that they want me to be on full time whenever they need a lawyer or prosecutor or whatever. I don't know. I was confused. I was like, is that me or who?
You gonna do it?
I think so, yeah. They're gonna give me roles for it, but the case was dropped. Got the case dropped. I did my job very well. So the state didn't have to pay anything, nothing like that.
Yeah, that's how they're trying to get him $3 million.
Yeah, he wanted $3 million for having PTSD, emotional distress. And he got none. Originally he wanted 5 mil. Then he dropped it to 3, and then we were going to settle on 2.2, and then I found out that he didn't have any medical records or anything like that. There are EMS MDTs stating that he's been anywhere or done any of that. So they're like, I'm just going to let you know now that it's over. Like, you shouldn't have done that, but you did, but it's okay. They're like, if we go to trial, you know, it can't happen. And then the other lawyer came up to me. Thank you so much, Isabel. Appreciate it. I said, you know, you did fire in there. They're like, I'm just going to tell you, like, you came in clutch on the whole not having paperwork and stuff like that. Like, you know, like, if you wouldn't have said anything, you know, he wouldn't have, you know, it wouldn't have gone any, like, he would have gotten the money, right off rip. But because you said and stated in court in case and showed that he lied, then yeah, we, you know, he's like, you did your thing. He's like, it was a really good court case. And the other guy in the stands that's in this black car right here, he was saying, he's like, yeah, you know, I just want to tell you, he's like, miss, you did a really good job. He's like, that's my actual brother, like, in head and in here, so, like, you were, like, going back and forth with him, so, like, yeah. Yeah, he's like, you know, you did your thing, like, you did really good, you know, talking with him and shit like that. I was like, thanks. He's like, so you's the DA, right? Like, you can help with anything? I said, well, they're trying to get me to. I don't know yet. We're gonna see what happens, but yeah. He's like, all right, all right.
So you basically gonna be going against criminals, huh?
I don't know. I don't know. They didn't say. They just said they needed a lawyer or something. So I said, okay, it's here.
And I'm going to court.
You're going to court for
Mhm.
what?
And I'm hiring the best lawyer.
Who?
Oh, don't worry about it. I got him in my pocket.
That's crazy. It's crazy. So yeah.
Yeah, you have fun though?
Yeah, it was good. It was funny. I was like,
That was long, cause boy, we was up here a minute ago.
yeah, it was like hella fucking long, like over an hour or two in this thing. I was like, oh my god.
We came down here, sat here, counted the green flags, came outside, killed a couple green flags, almost got arrested, left, made peace with the green flags, and gave them drugs. So,
Made peace with them and gave them. That's crazy. No, because they were on it. They were all in here. I guess before y'all showed up, or maybe after y'all left, or whatever. Two of them got up, stood up. One of them took a hatchet out and hit this dude, one of his members, in the back with it while he was running out of court. I was like, oh my god. I was like, then he's claiming he has PTSD of excessive force and, you know, brutality and this and that. Look at the people he's hanging with. If he has this much PTSD, he shouldn't be hanging with them. I was like, so that right there is, it does not counter the whole PTSD aspect of it.
man, I can't wait till I go to court.
Why?
Then you have to send me to jail.
Why do you want me to send you to jail? Why would you do that?
I know you don't want to.
No, I'd be like, guys, just drop it. Just leave.
Just drop it. It's crazy. I'm sending you. I'm reporting you right to your higher ups.
Oh, that's crazy.
I can't wait. I'm gonna get in some trouble. Watch.
Stop, because I don't know for sure if I'm gonna keep doing this or not.
Just so you can be in court like, yeah, this guy right here.
No. That's
I can't
crazy
wait.
work. Why would you do that? No, man. Because apparently all of this happened on a Tuesday. And Saturday. He had all
I seen the clip. And that was like, he's reaching.
Yeah, that's me when I'm on PD. I see him, he's reaching. Get on the floor, dirtbag, hands behind your head. That's me.
Oh man, you one of those?
Yeah.
Yeah, on the floor, dirtbag.
Because I don't know what I'd be doing, so yeah, it's that.